tell me, where do AI fits in certain models of businesses, and where do the human factor shouldn't be still neglected? If you could.
Yeah, look, I think AI is like, storming the world right now, and it is building momentum faster than I think a lot of people know what to do with it. And AI certainly is going to have its place for entrepreneurs and business owners and influencers and companies around the globe. And I think there's an upside and I think there's a downside. And I think it's important to explore and talk about both options. What we've seen already is artificial intelligence has affected many career paths. So if we just use copywriters, for example, copywriting is an advanced skill, something that I'm really not very good at. And I hire some of the best copywriters around the world to help my business with its copy. Email copy, lead-in event copy, landing page copy, copy for ads. And my copywriting bill can sometimes be in the region of around £7,000 to £8,000 a month. Let's just call it 100k a year, there or thereabouts. Since the inception of ChatGPT and my team getting used to it, we can feed it all of our existing stuff, plus ChatGPT is extremely knowledgeable, and we have more than halved our copywriting bill, and we're getting just as good or better results. So I'm just using that as one, example, right?
Yeah.
So there are many professions right now where AI potentially could replace you within the next 1 to 5 years. You've also got companies using AI now for their telemarketing call centers. Now, I think there's an upside and a downside. Okay, you've got a machine doing it rather than a human. But what I believe is really going to keep a company at the forefront is by using some AI in their businesses, but also making sure we've got that human to human connection. So I have discussed with people about, could AI replace my current call center? And the answer is yes, but I believe that I would lose that edge. So I believe humans still like to speak to humans. And there's nothing worse when you call your bank and you've got to go through these menus and they can't pick up your voice correctly, and then they send you back to step one, and then all you want to do is speak to a human, right? All you want to do is speak to a human. And I believe that companies that are still going to have a big part of human element will be the companies that will continue to win in the future.
Yeah, I think so. You're right there, because I think there will come a day when the trend will be going back to humans, because people are missing that touch. I mean, I run a successful bootcamp, for people to come and become a bestseller and write their books. You run multiple bootcamps. So tell me about that human interaction, because certainly I enjoy it personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been given the choice. Why can't I run this just online? Why bother to go to a hotel and get people in? But nothing beats that interaction.
Exactly.
So talk to me about it.
Yeah, Assets for Life is, we'll have our 10-year anniversary in September this year, which is incredible.
Absolutely.
We've emerged as one of the UK's leading property business and wealth training organisations. We've currently got 7 different advanced trainings across the group, different property strategies, investing strategies, masters of influence, sales and speaking strategies. And my model is very simple but highly effective. We run adverts and social media organic traffic to free events. People come and spend time with us online or in person, and then we sell them into a 3-day in-person certified advanced training. Now, I could automate that whole process and have AI then go and deliver the teachings. We could run that 3 days online, but I believe more than ever people are craving and will continue to crave human interaction. And that's why we do the 3 days in-person Diyari, smaller groups of people, and that's because I really want people to have the best experience. We want to serve our clients to the highest level. Could I do that with 400 people in a room? Yes. But you're not going to get that personal touch. I'm not going to be able to speak to everyone in that room, and people will feel like they're just a number, not a person. So my whole ethos at Assets for Life is that feel-good factor, making people feel valued, hearing people, and that's why we will continue to run our advanced 3 days in person, and I've got no thought process of stopping that or moving that online. Obviously, if I've got a product which is global and I'm going out to a global market, then yeah, people will either fly into it, or you give them an option where they can tune in online for sure. But I'm not looking at getting AI to replace many parts of the teaching elements when it comes to training and mentoring. You know, the reality is you can find most stuff out about everything now using ChatGPT or Google Gemini and search engines. The knowledge is out there. It's people aren't necessarily paying for the knowledge. They're paying for the accountability, they're paying for the experience, and they're paying to be part of a community, a mastermind group where you can have fun and you can interact and you can be called out on your BS and you can be held to a high level of accountability. So that's really what we're selling. We're not really selling the knowledge.
No.
It's what to do with the knowledge and making sure people go and do it.
Sure, and people also buy that proximity. Because if they're in a room with a select number of people and you're there, obviously I've seen that firsthand. You know, I mean, I first came as a client and now we are good friends. So, you know, that wouldn't happen over an AI or online or something like that. And you also run successful retreats every year, and I would love to do my first one at some point, follow your footsteps. But again, that's just another level of human interaction. And I've noticed from my colleagues, you know, who've been to your retreats, they look forward to it, because I mean, I certainly look forward to my next one, because they always say, oh, it's nice to be with everybody. No one says, oh, it's nice to be with AI, you know, or ChatGPT there on the retreat. They want that human touch and that. So I think these are very, very important. And tell me also about the retreats. I mean, that intimate level of interaction.
And I think, like, you know, I've got an international retreats business. I run retreats all over the world. I love to travel. I love to have fun and adventure. I like to hang out with high level people. So I've been able to create a business model around what I want to achieve as well as what I want the clients to achieve. So I've been running Marbella retreats, level 1s through to 5 since 2018. I've been going on retreats every year myself. I now do kite surfing retreat, ski retreat, Thailand retreat. We got Vegas coming up this Saturday. We've got 10 weeks over in Marbella as a group. Now, I don't go and run all of these now myself. I've got great business partners. But I believe that AI will never, ever beat human interaction in a luxury part of the world, sitting around a mastermind table, deep diving on your business, and having that emotional connection where you can build long-lasting relationships. And some of our best clients, most successful clients, are our retreat clients. And it's one of the reasons why I believe every entrepreneur that wants to really do well in life should get on a retreat, either come on one of my retreats or go on someone's retreat. And I think that, you know, you deserve to do that. You get off the grid. You're around other really successful people. You get to work on your business, not in your business. You get some really big breakthroughs. And AI can just never, ever replace that stuff. So what could you use in your business for AI? Certainly, you know, copywriting, website development, automation, emails. You've got things around KPIs and data and building software platforms. Like, it's changing really, 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 really fast. So I definitely feel that business owners and entrepreneurs, and I'm a bit late to the party, to be fair, because I'm not into technology, and because that stuff, like, I don't understand it very well. I've been late to the party. But, you know, me and my senior team recently, because I'm in a mastermind group and there's a couple of people there that are really big into it, we're like, oh my goodness, if they're doing it, we should do it. Yeah. So as a team now, we're really starting to embrace certain parts of AI within the business, but I don't want to miss that human element and that personal connection. Yeah. And I think the bigger AI gets, and social media, people are spending 10, 15, 20 hours glued to their phones. Yeah. Like, people are finding it hard to socialize. People are suffering with anxiety and stress and social disorders. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's because of this social online movement that we've been thrown into for the last 10 years or so. And I personally, I don't even really like any of it. I monetize it, and I'm out on it, and I'm producing content, and I'm giving the world what it wants right now. But actually, I don't have my kids on an iPad. Like, they're just not allowed on an iPad. No. I hate them being on YouTube. You know, and we had a thing recently, we took about a year ago, where my 7-year-old was just becoming an absolute nut job. And it was turning her into something. Kids should be playing out in the street with their dolls' houses, drawing. And since we've took the iPads off the kids, they're completely different kids. It's been incredible. So there is an upside, but there's a very deep, dark side to social media and AI.
Completely agree with you there. Same here. I mean, luckily, my core business is dentistry, so hopefully we won't be, substituted by AI. But I do use it for some research. Sometimes I use it if I need to write a letter, like a formal letter. Yes, I go on AI or ChatGPT because it's quicker. Rather than me thinking about things, I check it. But I always make sure. Nowadays with books, obviously, I run a very successful, book bootcamp. Book writing bootcamp, and for that I encourage people to use AI in the right way. So I suppose the advice is, Liam, that if people run a business that's even remotely interacts with people, then they shouldn't really ignore that element. Not just that, they should probably nurture it. Definitely. But use AI in the background.
Yeah, you use AI to support. Yeah. And to help you in areas where you can fast track and be more cost effective. Yeah. But I am seeing a lot of people go too heavy on AI, and they're going to miss out on that human interaction. Yes. Assets for Life, we're a property business and wealth training organisation. We need that human interaction. Absolutely. To help people go and get results.
And also AI, at some point, it will all kind of start to look similar-ish. Recently, one of my students brought me a book, and she said, I've written this book. And it just took me literally 10 seconds. I looked at it and I said, that's written by ChatGPT. And she said, how do you know? I said, there are so many clues here. I can tell. Yes, you can train, obviously, ChatGPT to do a lot more for you. But by then, God, you might have written a couple of chapters yourself.
So if you are somebody that really wants to create more wealth for you and your future, then why don't you look at becoming a professional property investor where you can take advantage of the UK's #1 asset class and make passive income and also capital appreciation. So I'd invite you now to click the link in the comments or the bio and go and access my latest book called Property Success. This is where I introduce you to the 7-step-by-step system known as the Property Freedom Formula that I have used personally to do over £31 million worth of property development. So go and do that right now. I really hope you enjoy this asset, and it could be the difference that makes the difference and gets you up and running in the next 90 days.